No one can tell me my God is not good, bruh. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Destiny, and if you see my face before and you haven't subscribed yet, then baby, what is you doing? Subscribe. Guys, I'm so emotional right now. Like, I'm filming my first video in my new apartment. God is so good. Like, if only y'all knew the year I had, if only y'all knew like the situation. It's just like the principle, like God is a provider, and he really just like blew my mind and overly exceeded my expectations. And it's crazy, it's like he's truly giving me the desires of my heart, man. I just really want this video to encourage others, and I just also want to testify, tell people about what my God really can do. Y'all feel me? Anyways, with that being said, let's get right into the video. I feel like in a couple of videos I've mentioned how 2022 was really ghetto for me, so I want to elaborate on that. So I was working at this tech company. This job was in person, like in office, and I had a deal with HR and management that, you know, if I had flare-ups or anything, I'd be able to work from home. And so pretty much, because like with RA, like flare-ups are a little unpredictable, and when I have a flare-up, it's not really good for me to go in office. You know, my knees get all swollen, it's hard to walk, it's very ghetto. So my original manager ended up quitting like 2 weeks after I was hired. Then I was managerless for a while, and then I got a new manager 3 months in. And, you know, things are fine. I told him about the, you know, agreement that I had, like, you know, sometimes I work from home because I have flare-ups. Cool, great. It got to the point where I was working from home like more often because I was having like really bad flare-ups. I want to say like around October of 2021, I started getting like flare-ups more frequently. And when I have a flare-up, it's like I can be fine, I can be walking around, and then I can go to sleep and wake up to my knees literally like so swollen out of nowhere. He tried to build a case against me and saying I couldn't really work or I wasn't doing my job, and basically saying that me having to work from home was like interfering with me doing my job, which wasn't true. I actually ended up doing better. Like, I started getting more deals and everything working from home. So I actually had to meet with HR. I actually had to pull up all my KPIs from the beginning till then, and pretty much to prove like I can do my job. He left me alone after I met with HR for like 2 weeks, and then he started going full throttle again, and pretty much like low-key harassment, sending emails to HR for every little thing. Like, if a lead comes in over the weekend and I'm not on it like first thing in the morning, I'm in the office by 9, and if I don't get to the lead by like 9:30, he would send like a whole long drawn out email to HR to make me look bad. And yeah, he was just doing a lot of things in that nature. So yeah, one morning he did it one last time, and I ended up just putting in a 30-day notice. I ended up leaving because he was adding stress. With the rheumatoid arthritis, it's not really good for me to be stressing. That literally like makes it worse. And after that, I was cool, you know. I put in my 30-day notice, and then they ended up releasing me earlier, like a week later, because they were like, we don't do notices for salespeople. So yeah, they ended up like paying me out 2 weeks and then letting me go early. But I wasn't stressed or anything because I literally was interviewing and talking with other companies already, and every single day I was getting DMs from recruiters. Like every single day I was getting one, and they were like pretty good, like 70, 80K base plus commission, like opportunities. And I was like, I'm gonna be fine. By the time the rest of this month is over, I should be pretty much at the end of my hiring process for a new company. Like, I was completely fine, or so I thought. So ultimately, that led to me being unemployed for like 5 months, and I was doing like Uber Eats and stuff like that in between to like try to, you know, help out. But it was a struggle because it wasn't enough to pay all my bills, like, at all. During the 5 months, because of the type of, you know, companies I was interviewing for, you know, a lot of them had a long hiring process and everything. And during those 5 and 6 months, I was very much still interviewing companies. I was very much still trying to find a job and trying my best to make ends meet. But it's like God was allowing every single door to be shut in my face. And honestly, God allowed that to happen because I was getting into that mindset where I was like, oh, I'm independent, I'm doing it all on my own, blah, 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 blah. You know, I was fresh out of college. And I think God really just wanted me to learn how to fully, solely trust him. I trusted God in certain areas of my life, but when it came to finances, I was a little rocky. I was a little shaky, I ain't gonna lie. And I think God really just used that season to sit me down and teach me what it really means to trust God and rely on him for real. And I was very much like, you know, struggling. I was still trying to do Uber. I was still trying to like make my own way. I was like asking people for help, which God didn't tell me to do none of that, but this was me doing things in my own strength, trying to figure it out for my own, and it all failed. Majority of the time, like, God was not trying to do that. Like, it's like he came through every single month. And even after, you know, I did get another job. It was work from home job, same exact position I was working before. It was just this time it was remote, and it was still in tech and everything. And honestly, God used that to help me to catch up on bills. You know, there was times where I was facing eviction, like 3 times I faced eviction. Also, my car was up for repossession like 3 times. There was one time I was on the phone with the bank and they were like, do you even still have your car? I was like, yeah, it's like right outside. And they're like, well, it's been up for repossession for like 60 days. That had to be God, because ain't no way. And I didn't hide it or nothing. It was just parked out front the whole time. I call that favor. There were many nights and times where I didn't know where my next meal would come from. I didn't know where the light bill, how the light bill was gonna get paid, the phone bill, like all these things. And it was just, I was in a constant state of worry, doubt, fear, and it was just not fun. It was not a fun time. And you know, it's crazy because at the beginning of 2022, God told me that it would be a year of where like I wouldn't have to worry about finances. And now that I think back, I look at it because it's like, he didn't say I wasn't gonna have any financial struggles. He just said I didn't have to worry about it, which means like I had the choice. I could have been like, you know what? God got it. God's gonna take care of me. And I could have been out there like la-di-da-di-da, having fun, minding my business. But no, I chose to soak in worry, doubt, and fear so bad to the point where I was literally like depressed and having suicidal thoughts, not even wanting to be here. So, you know, like, it was so much going on. And the reason that this is such a crazy thing is because like I just feel like that apartment that I'm moving out of, it just there's so much negativity, so many like just bad memories in there, just so many tears were shed. I lived in my prayer closet, like it was just so much. And just being in this fresh new space in a brand new building, brand new apartment, I'm the first one that's living in here. This is really a new season. It's funny because I'm like, even now, like I should be panicking, I should be stressed, but I'm not. I was laid off last month. It's funny because I was like, dang, why does something always have to happen right when I'm about to move? Because last year, I ended up leaving my job like right before I had to move in, but that was my choice. This time it wasn't my choice. Like this time it was literally like this was all God. I was laid off. You know, 3 days later I was accepted into this apartment. And it's so crazy because how that happened, like that whole entire week, I had a friend visiting from Baltimore, and I kept telling her, I was like, I just feel like something's about to happen with my job. I don't know what. I just had this like feeling that something's gonna happen, and it wasn't necessarily like anxiety, but I felt like a heaviness, like something's about to happen. One night I was like on the phone with my friend and we were praying, and basically I was like, girl, I don't know if this is God or the enemy, but I feel like I'm about to get fired. I thought it was the enemy. And I was like, I literally feel this weight and it just won't go away, specifically regarding my job. You know, so we prayed about it, and she basically was like saying that I'm feeling the pressure of the release. So God did tell me months ago that he was going to release me from the job that I was in. And I told him, it's funny because I literally told him that I wanted to do like, you know, ministry full time. God is so funny, because I told him that was a desire of my heart literally like a couple months ago. And this isn't what I meant. This is not how I pictured it to go. I'm here. I told him I wanted to make content for him full time, because it's not that I didn't like my job. I actually did like my job, but it's just like every job I've been at, I have not been fulfilled, and I only feel fulfilled when I'm making content for God. So that's mainly my reason to why I was saying that. But you know, I was thinking more like, you know, in the future, when I'm more settled, you know, when I'm actually producing income, like, you know. But yeah, God had different plans for me. So yeah, literally the next day after I had that phone call with my friend, I joined my regular weekly one-on-one with my manager, and HR was on the call, and they pretty much laid me off and said that my last day was the next day. Yeah, God gave me a warning that this was gonna happen, and it actually happened. So I was more just shook that it really happened, and also just caught off guard, because I was like, dang God, like, you know, I'm about to move. Like, the timing of this is just crazy, you know. But after I got all my tears out and everything, I actually got really happy, because I was like, wait a minute, God literally is giving me the desires of my heart, you know. The week that I got laid off was the week I found this apartment randomly. I was on my way home from the beach, and I drove past them, and I was like, those look nice. And looked them up. They're cheaper than the apartments I was already living in, and much nicer, and literally brand new. And I was just like, you know what, God, this is the apartment I want. I've made my decision, because I was considering a couple, but I was like, this is the one I want, because God told me that he wanted me to actually like write it down and come to a decision. And I've noticed, like, since this year started, God has been literally like giving me the desires of my heart, in a sense where it's like he'll make me come to a decision and then he'll provide, which is really weird. Like, for example, this camera that I'm filming on, one day God randomly told me to go to Best Buy, and I was like, that's really random, because I haven't been to Best Buy since probably like I was in high school, still living in West Palm Beach. Like, I do not go to Best Buy, but he told me to go to Best Buy, and I went into Best Buy, and then this random camera expert came up to me and just started talking to me about cameras. And then I was like, oh yeah, I do YouTube, blah, blah, blah. He started asking me about the content, the type of stuff I want to do, the stuff I'm doing, like type of content I'm doing. And he basically I was in there for a whole hour, or maybe 2 hours. We're just talking about cameras. And by the end of that day, I had decided that I found a camera that I felt was perfect for my needs, that he agreed that was perfect for my needs. And I was like, all right, I want the camera. And I left that day, and I was like, well, God, I can see why you brought me here. I walked out of there with the heart posture like, okay, I want this camera. I don't want to pay for it though. So I was like, God, you got it. And literally a month later, I got the camera. And I told God specifically I didn't want it to come out of my paycheck, because I was like, pretty much my bills be eating up all my paychecks. I basically was like, I don't want to buy this camera with my money coming from my paychecks. And he provided a month later. So it's like he's literally been like giving me the desires of my heart. And with this apartment, literally that week, he was like, you need to make a decision on an apartment. So I made the decision. I was like, God, this is the apartment I want. This is the exact like layout that I want. This is the one it's giving. It's cheaper than where I am right now. It's nicer. It's like, it's crazy because it's cheaper, but it's an upgrade. When I tell you this apartment building is 10 times nicer than where I'm coming from. And then I get laid off. And then after I get laid off, I get accepted for the apartment. Yeah, it's giving he's really been providing for me just as I go. Like, I've been making decisions, writing it down, write the vision, make it plain, and God's like, I got it. I pretty much, and when I tell you guys, I'm very much heavy on the God got it, because it's like, you know, he's my dad. It's like I have a rich dad. He's the creator of the universe. Why can't he give me what I want? Anyways, he places the desires on my heart, because honestly, I wasn't really focused on getting a new camera, which is why I was like, this is so random. Like, why am I going to Best Buy? But it's like he kind of placed that desire on my heart to get a new camera after talking to that dude, and then he provided. So I'm like, this apartment is really like a blessing for real, because it's the fact that after I got laid off, he provided for me. And then I was like, God, you got it. Like, I have no idea how I'm gonna furnish the apartment. I have no idea how I'm gonna, you know, like pay all my bills in the long run. Cause yeah, I have a severance, but it's not like I have a severance for a whole year. You know, it's like I'm back in that state that I was before, where I'm having to fully rely on God to provide for me. But this time I'm at peace. One, God has came through for me for the whole entire last year that I had. Because even after I did get a job, I was still struggling because I was working on getting myself out of debt and then also keeping up with current bills. So it's like every single check was being ate up. So it's like now I'm back in that state kind of where it's like, okay, I have to fully rely on God, but it's like the heart posture is different and the faith is different. Now I'm just like, okay, God, you allowed me to get approved for this lease. You provided for my deposit and everything. I'm in here, we got the keys, you got the rest. Like, and it's like, I'm so happy to just be here. Like, I'm over here sitting on the floor in my room. I moved nothing in here. I just came here to anoint the place, pray before I move anything in here, declare it as holy ground, baby. But I really just wanted to come here and tell a little bit about my story for real, because like, when I tell you your girl was struggling, like your girl didn't know where her meals were coming from, your girl didn't know how bills are gonna get paid. And imagine living like that for months. Like, even when I had a job, I wasn't secure. And it's like, what God taught me was that these jobs are not my provider. God just chooses to use these jobs to provide, but they can go anytime. Jobs come and go. We don't know what's happening in the world. The economy is going crazy right now. I feel like a lot of people, including me, like we kind of put our faith into these like jobs when literally they can be gone in 2.5. Like, how quickly I was unemployed was just crazy to me. It was really mind-blowing. It took me like a week to adjust because I was like, wow, I really don't have a job. Even though God told me to stop saying that, because he was like, you do have a job, you're just working for me full-time. And I was like, you're right, you're the boss. The biggest lesson I learned is that God is really my provider. Because it's like, even when I did have a job, I still had to like have faith in God for him to come through, because I wasn't making enough to cover all my bills. If I didn't get commission, like I couldn't even cover all my bills. I could probably only cover half of them. So it was like I really needed commission. And even like if I did get commission, it's like, okay, my bills eat up my whole check. So I still had to like rely on God in some way, shape, or form, whether it's for bills, for food, for what. Like, there were literally months where I wasn't able to buy groceries for myself. Now I'm just here. I'm not stressing. I'm not nothing. I'm just like, all right, God, we taking it day by day. And I'm just here being obedient, doing what he tells me to do. And God's gonna just provide as we go. And I'm not even pressed about it. I'm actually very happy. I'm very much at peace. And it's just crazy because like people wouldn't even know the amount of struggle I was going through. God hasn't allowed me to look like my struggle. I literally just got back from this girl's trip like 2 days ago, and I didn't even have to pay for anything on that trip. It's crazy because it's like I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about activities. God literally was just like, go out there and enjoy yourself. It was a very fruitful trip. I definitely needed it. Literally like 10 kingdom women in one house. It was very powerful. That vlog is going up after this video. I'm posting this to let y'all know my God is a provider. Your girl got a new apartment. That nigga was fighting me so hard, like so hard. He's been fighting me so hard the past couple of weeks, specifically the past couple of days. Like, your girl legit had a breakdown. I'm just excited. I'm just grateful. I just want to let y'all know, like, God is a provider. If he's telling you to do something, do it. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Yeah, God really brought me through, and I'm just like, this, it's really giving, it's a new season, and I'm excited to see how God's about to provide. Now we believe in him to fully furnish my apartment. I'm like, it's crazy because people might really think believers are delusional, but it's just like the fact that like, it's only crazy until it happens. Yes, we look crazy and we sound crazy until it happens. I can't even take I can't take no credit for anything because this is all God. Like, the fact that I literally am jobless right now, my bad, God. Not jobless, I work for you. But the fact that I'm not working in corporate America anymore, and God literally provided. And it's the fact that he did it super fast. Like, it was so back to back. He was just like boom, 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 to the point where I couldn't even really be sad for real. Like, on this walk, sometimes God will instruct you to do things that really don't make sense. But like, it's all for a reason. And also, like, if you're believing God for some type of like financial breakthrough, whether it is like a new house, apartment, car, or if it's just basic necessities like food, like God's got you. I'm at peace because one, God is providing for me, and he's providing in different ways. In some ways I might not really prefer, but he's been using people to bless me and take care of me, and I'm happy. And I'm excited to see what he gonna do. I do want to be open and transparent on my channel, so I had to let y'all know what was up. You feel me? That's where I am. I'm just here working for Jesus. Love that for me. Woohoo. But yeah, guys, I'll definitely keep y'all updated, like, you know, whenever I do start decorating this place. I do have my bedroom furniture and stuff that I'm gonna move in here, but like as for living room stuff, I'll keep y'all updated on that. I want to bring y'all on this journey with me, and I want y'all to see me turn this apartment into a home. The last apartment, I wasn't able to make it into a home because I didn't have the money to buy no furniture for real. And then when I was considering, God never let me. So yeah, I'm excited to see what God's gonna do and how he's gonna do it. I don't even know. But all I do know is that God good and my money good. Yeah, I hope this video was encouraging to y'all. It was kind of all over the place. Honestly, my emotions are all over the place. I'm just like in awe because I'm just like, God, you're so good. Stay tuned for my next video because y'all don't even know the amount of craziness that happened in that vlog. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, baby. And I hope y'all stay tuned for more. Bye! Oh, and another thing I forgot to say in the video. So basically when I got accepted, they told me that I had to pay 1 month's rent for my deposit. Tell me why I ended up not having to pay 1 month's rent for my deposit. I only had to pay $300. Tell me why God ain't good. Tell me my God ain't good. Cause who, girl? But yeah, guys, I just had to pop in real quick because I forgot to say that.